What is going on, folks? Hope you guys are all doing well. So recently we reviewed the PlayStation Classic, which was around 45% the original size of the first gen PlayStation. But well, what we have over here is a custom built mini PlayStation console that's actually 20% the size of the new PlayStation Classic console. And this is all thanks to the remarkably tiny Raspberry Pi Zero-W. This is a full-on PC, has a 1 GHz single core CPU, 512 megabytes of RAM, built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and only costs around $10. Now, just like the larger Raspberry Pi 3, you have the ability to run different emulators such as RetroPie with Emulation Station, and that means this tiny little computer has the ability to play all of your classic gaming titles from the late 80s, early 90s, NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, and even some first generation PlayStation 1 games, although the 3D rendering capabilities due to the hardware limitations is not the best for playing PlayStation games on this little tiny thing, but it's perfectly fine for running 2D PlayStation games such as GTA 2 and my personal favorite, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, something that's not available on the PlayStation Classic console. Now we have the Pi Zero-W encased in a custom 3D printed case modeled after an original PlayStation 1 Slim, or the second generation of the PlayStation 1. The case only measures around 70 millimeters across, 40 millimeters in terms of width, versus the PlayStation Classic has twice those dimensions, and the custom 3D printed case still has access to the 2 micro USB and HDMI ports at the back. There's also a cutout slot for the micro SD card slot, and you're definitely going to need some low profile plugs on your cables in order to properly reach the internal ports. And being so small, it's always going to be in the mercy of where the cables want to go, since it has no weight and it doesn't really lie flat on a tabletop surface. So there's definitely some caveats of having such a small little gaming console. Furthermore, just like the PlayStation Classic, you can kind of think of this thing as a functional novelty item. It definitely has a lot of kawaii, which is a kind of cute factor in Japanese culture. Furthermore, if you want to build a more serious PlayStation emulator, I would definitely go with the Pi3 Model B. It has a quad-core CPU of 1.2 gigahertz, a very similar overall specifications to the PlayStation Classic. You have 1 gigabyte of RAM and lots of ports and connectivity options, and it has no major issues in playing most of all the ROMs that you're going to find on the first generation PlayStation. And I would definitely recommend getting a cool case like this. This is a replica of the Sega Mega Drive case from a company called Retroflag. It's super authentic to that original design and has that same level of quality and precision as you find in the original PlayStation Classic console, but none of the drawbacks or limitations when it comes to game selection. Simply play all your favorite PlayStation 1 ROMs, and when you get tired of playing PlayStation, move on to another classic gaming console, and then eventually when you get tired of playing games, keep in mind you still have a real computer on your hands capable of running Linux as well as Windows 10 IoT Core. So there's tons of capabilities obviously with the Raspberry Pi, as you probably already know. Now lastly, I just want to mention the cost of our individual setup. So for the Pi Zero-W, I paid about $21 for the chip on Amazon. It's a little bit more expensive compared to China, but I just find it easier and faster to ship. You're also looking about $15 for the custom printed case that I found on eBay, and we're looking at a grand total about $36 for that mini setup. The Pi 3W is about $38 on Amazon, plus another $25 for that Retroflag case, so about $63 in total, and you're looking about $100 for the PlayStation Classic console, which is definitely not worth it compared to the previous two setups. Keep in mind that there could be the ability to hack the PlayStation Classic console, which will definitely add value, or perhaps there could be some mods done to the case itself where you can fit a Raspberry Pi 3. That would definitely be a cool idea, something that I'm actually working on right now. But in the meantime, check out the description for more details about everything we talked about. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure you have notifications turned on. That way you get our videos once they become available to you. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you later. Take care.